This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping on April the 15th, 2016. Our time is 8:41 in the morning Mountain. Our radio show runs on 6:30 CHED in Edmonton, Sunday afternoon at 3. Our radio show is archived for your listening pleasure 24/7. You can listen to us online, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We have a podcast through iTunes. Type in The World Financial Report on Radio. You can find us on YouTube. We have our own page, and we are connected with TuneIn as well, that app. Our featured diamond of the week, as we start the show, as we usually do, from rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. And this is just a stunning, it's like a cat's eye. It's a diamond that is a 1.23 carat, marquee cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. It is just a beauty. See it online at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. Speak with Harold about it, 1-800-432-1022. Later in the show, second half of the show, we'll talk about the Millennium Blue Diamond that sold for $31.8 million last week. We have more auction results for you. Also, the Shirley Temple Blue Diamond is going to sell on Tuesday, April the 19th. We'll talk about that. And Christie's is going to offer a large, fancy, vivid green diamond for sale. All of that coming up in the second half of the show. Now, one of the things that we've talked about on our program for quite some time, bail-ins. And we saw it in Cyprus, and here in Canada, the mechanism is in place. If a bank went sideways, we would have to lose money, and that's how they would bail out the bank. Bank bail-ins in the EU are here after Austria's financial markets regulator, FMA, imposed a hefty haircut on creditors in an Austrian bank. Creditors in the bank HEDA Asset Resolution will receive less than half of their money back, according to the country's financial regulator, the FMA. You can see that story in our free weekly newsletter. Get our newsletter from Harold, 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. But there's another example of a bail-in and investors losing money. One of our quotes in the newsletter this week from Charlie Munger, who is the partner with Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway. We have a vast gambling culture, and people have made it respectable. Basically, the stock market is a casino, and too many people want to get rich quickly. That according to Charlie Munger, who is, along with Warren Buffett, one of the heads of Berkshire Hathaway. Harold, we're very excited about the second half of the program. We'll get into diamonds in detail. It's just a real exciting time with the auction results we have. The Shirley Temple diamond selling on Tuesday. We have that green diamond we'll talk about. The Millennium selling last week for close to $32 million. It's just turning out to be, over the long term, an amazing investment.
You better believe it, Randy. Very, very excited about that. And again, there's going to be some information on some green diamonds coming up that is also something that we've been recommending and very, very excited about. But all in all, the markets were fairly lethargic this week. You know, the moves in the markets are getting bigger, but you're still trading within a range. You know, today, as we're taping the show on Friday, gold is trading in a range of basically $5 or $6. So the fact is that gold traded up as high as $12.60 this week, but as we're taping the show on Friday, it's back down to $12.29, $12.30. So the market's basically trading in a range. There's a lot of people out there that think that gold is getting ready to rally, but there's much more to the gold market than just what you're reading in the papers type of thing. And the fact is that there are different players in the market. We're buyers and holders. We don't trade the gold market. We buy gold and hold on to it as a hedge against bad things that are possibly coming down the road. But there's people that trade gold on a short-term basis. They trade it in the futures market. It's extremely heavily leveraged, and you know those that know how to trade it can do well. Those that don't, Well, they're one of the 90% that trade the commodity markets that end up losing their money. And oh, by the way, that 90% is not only restricted to the commodity market, it's also to the stock market. Over 90% of people that trade stocks end up losing their money. So what Charlie Munger said is something that I've been saying for a long, long time. The stock market is not suitable for most investors, and most people that do invest in the stock market lose their money. Now, the gold market, in my opinion, has to go lower. It has to go down into around the $1,000 range. We were almost there a few months ago, and then we saw the rally at the beginning of the year that really took gold up substantially from the lows of 1,050 all the way to the highs of 1,260. But the fact is that if you look at the Commitment of Traders report, and I know most of you out there won't do that. That's my job to analyze the markets and report back to you as to what the markets look like. And at this particular point, I'm seeing a larger and a larger short position in the market. A short position means that certain traders are feeling that the market is going to fall and they want to benefit, they want to profit by a falling market by shorting it. Just like when you feel a market's going to go higher and you want to profit by it, you go long the market. When the market's going to fall, you go short the market. And according to the Commitment of Traders report that's out at this point, there's two very major situations in the market at this point that warrant us looking seriously at that market. And one is a very large short position in gold. Means that the banks are shorting gold. They feel it's going to drop. They get a lot more money than the speculators do, and that's why I feel that the gold market over the short term is going to fall back down to around $1,050 to $1,000 in that range. The other market that we have to be aware of is the U.S. dollar, because there's a very large long position in the U.S. dollar at this point. So isn't it ironic that the gold and U.S. dollar market work together in the sense that when the U.S. dollar is strong, gold is weak. When the U.S. dollar is weak, gold is strong. Go back to the 90s when the U.S. dollar was the strongest currency and gold was trading at $250. Then go to 2011 when gold was trading at $1,900 and the U.S. dollar was trading all the way down at 72.5 cents. So again, there's a direct correlation between the gold market and the U.S. dollar. And right now, what the market is showing me is that there's a large short position in gold and a large long position in the U.S. dollar, which tells me that gold is getting ready to fall and the U.S. dollar is getting ready to run again. So I've been saying to our Canadian clients for a long time, and it's proved out to be extremely profitable for our clients and us, is to get into U.S.-based investments. U.S. dollar-based investments. Get out of Canadian dollars, because if the U.S. dollar is going to rally, it's going to rally against a basket of currencies, and one of the currencies is the U.S. dollar. The other thing that I'm concerned about is oil going lower, which is going to push the Canadian dollar lower also. So right now, you need to get out of Canadian-based investments, get out of Canadian dollar-based investments especially, and get some money into the U.S. dollar. I'll show you exactly how to do it. All you have to do is give me a call, and I'll explain exactly what the potential is. My clients are making over 25% a year trading in this market with us. So if that's of interest to you, I'll show you how to get out of Canadian dollar-based investments into some very strong private investments that we're doing for our clients, allowing them to participate and allowing them to participate in American dollars. So, you know, those of you that have retirement savings funds out there, retirement savings plan, know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about the stock market being a terrible place to invest, and that 90% of the people that trade it lose their money. All you have to do is look at the results from your retirement savings plan, and you'll understand what I'm saying is true. There's just no way in the world that the everyday man and woman should be trading in stocks. They don't know what they're doing. It's a just like Charlie Munger and myself have been saying, it's a gambling casino. And the fact is that people are so desperate for money right now that they're willing to take a severe risk in the marketplace trying to make some money. But that's the worst thing that you could do at this particular point. The first thing that you do when it comes to investing is look for capital preservation. Look for an investment that's going to hold your asset, that you're not going to lose your money. You know, in stocks back in 2008, we saw General Motors go bankrupt. We saw insurance companies go bankrupt. We saw so many companies, along with banks, going under until they were bailed out by the government. So the fact is that there's a lot of things going on right now. A lot of them are extremely volatile, and in most cases are not suitable for the listeners of this radio show. We don't want you to leverage your gold. We don't want you to finance your gold. We want you to own it outright, and basically that's the smart thing to do at this point. So again, according to what I'm seeing in the markets right now, the gold market should fall over the summertime. It should fall back down below $1,200 into the $1,000 and $50,000 level. On top of that, we see silver, which is trading right now at about $16.20. I see it going down to $11.50. I see the U.S. dollar breaking par and going up to 108 to 110. I still think that that is going to happen, and I do see the oil market falling lower. Even though there is talk that OPEC is going to cut production, the fact is that in the 35 years that I've traded oil, I've never known OPEC and their members to ever stick to a deal. And with the gigantic oversupply of oil and the fact that Iran needs to sell oil, so does Russia, I just see oil going back down into the 20s. Right now it's trading down about $1.30 on the day and is trading right at around the $40 level. So, again, at this point, it's important that you understand that no matter what fundamentally is happening in the market, right now, according to the charts and according to what we're reading from the Commitment of Traders report, there's a very heavy short position in gold. There's a very long position in the U.S. dollar, and that means the dollar should go up, gold should go down, and again, my recommendation is to get out of the Canadian dollar-based investments, get into U.S. dollar-based investments. I'll show you exactly how to do that, and my clients are making over 25% a year. If that's important to you and of interest to you, just pick up the phone and give me a call, and I'll speak to you and help you as much as I possibly can.
We had an article last week in our free weekly newsletter from Clive Mond, and we can send it to you. It said, Canadians, get out of the Canadian dollar, get into the U.S. dollar now. It was in our newsletter last week. You can see it there. If you did not get it, connect with Harold. RareColoredDiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022, RareColoredDiamonds.com. We'll be happy to send out our free weekly newsletter and that article from Clive Mond, Canadians, get out of the Canadian dollar, get into the U.S. dollar now. One of the items that we've spoken about on our show for quite some time is, how are we going to retire? And that is the big question with interest rates where they are today. Using the rule of 72, dividing the amount of money in an interest form, let's say you're making 1% or 2% on your investment, into 72, that will tell you how quickly your money will double. If you're at 1%, your money's going to double in 72 years. Needless to say, you've got a big problem on your hands if you're going to be retiring. Not nearly enough attention has been paid to the toll these low rates and now negative rates are taking on the ability of investors to save and plan for the future. People need to invest more today to achieve their desired annual retirement income in the future. For example, a 35-year-old looking to generate $48,000 per year in retirement income beginning at the age of 65 would need to invest $178,000 today in a 5% interest rate environment. In a 2% interest rate environment, the individual would need to invest $563,000 or 3.2 times as much to achieve the same outcome in retirement. This reality has profound implications for economic growth. Consumers saving for retirement need to reduce spending if they're going to reach their retirement income goals, and retirees with lower incomes will need to cut consumption as well. A monetary policy intended to spark growth then, in fact, risks reducing consumer spending. That was a quote from Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. And Harold, we've said this for quite some time. That's why we advocate being in hard asset investments, gold, silver, diamonds. We believe over the long term in the environment that we're in, negative interest rates, low interest rates. We're seeing cashless society. We want to be in the alternative asset market because that's probably going to be giving us the best chance going forward to retire at a level that we want to feel comfortable at. And you take a look at the numbers that I presented, rule of 72, 1 into 72, your money would double in 72 years. Well, who could do that and retire comfortably? It's just not going to happen. And you're going to be in a position where you're having to save dramatically more money. But Harold, that's why we encourage people to speak with you about investing in hard assets. Diamonds, gold, silver, the different programs you have, 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And as we have that quote off the chop, Charlie Munger saying we have a vast gambling culture. The people have made it respectable. Basically, the stock market is a casino, and too many people want to get rich very, very quickly. And nothing has changed since the financial crash. In fact, if you watch the debates in the United States, they had one on CNN just last night between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. And what are they talking about? Breaking up the big banks. They're talking about going after Wall Street and making sure that they are punished for what happened in the past and possibly in the future, making sure it doesn't happen again. Harold, we're in an environment where interest rates are going to stay low for a long, long time. Negative interest rates, low interest rates, and people really need to speak to you about the alternatives that are out there that are like a life raft in today's current financial markets.
You're 100% right, Randy. Again, when you're getting 1% from the bank, it's going to take you forever. And then, 1%, don't forget there's inflation, there's taxes and everything, so you're making absolutely no money. Where we have programs where our clients will double the money in 4 years. So, again, we think outside the box. We do allow our Canadian clients to invest in private deals with us, and they are available to the listeners to the show. So pick up the phone and give me a call. Again, you need to get out of Canadian-based dollar investments and get into U.S.-based investments. And again, I'll show you how to do that. But all in all, it's a frightening time to be in the marketplace. To be able to even think about retiring for most people is just not going to happen. You just can't make money on your money if you don't know what you're doing. And the fact is that there's so much skullduggery going on in the marketplace, you can't trust giving your money to financial advisors, and they just don't know what they're doing at this point. It's almost like throwing a dart against the wall. So my suggestion is to remain conservative. At this particular point, when you go into an investment, the first thing is capital preservation, not losing your money, then capital appreciation. And there's very, very few investments that can make you money without gigantic risk. So, again, these are troubling times for most people because most people depend on other people to make their investment choices for them. If you need some help, pick up the phone. I've been in this business for 35 years, and my radio show has been on CHED for about 17 years now. So, again, I'd like to think that we know what we're doing. We've given some great advice. We've got some huge markets, and we've got some very exciting programs that could definitely help you get through these troubling times.
Speak with Harold personally, privately. He has an open invitation. He's there to take your call anytime. 1-800-432-1022. The call is free, and whatever you speak with Harold about, it's confidential. 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Our featured diamond of the week is a 1.23 carat marquee cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. See it online at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Coming up next week on Tuesday, they're going to be selling the Shirley Temple Blue Diamond. We'll talk more about that in the second half of the show. Speaking of interest rates, here in Canada, the Bank of Canada kept interest rates at 0.5%, half a point. That's what we're talking about. If you're sitting in a GIC or even in government bonds, money market fund, you're not getting anything. And as Harold mentioned, factor in inflation, you factor in taxes, you're in a negative rate of return. The U.S. government, and we've talked about this before, they have pretty much, for the rest of Obama's term in the United States, given him an open checkbook to pretty much do what he wants with the budget. In fact, they had a debt of around $18.5 trillion, went to $19.5. It's going here very quickly to $21 trillion. The U.S. government doubled its budget debt from the same period last year. It was $108 billion, the deficit in March, more than double the amount from the same period last year. It was $53 billion. And that was on the back of $1.48 trillion. The U.S. government collects record high taxes in the first half of 2016. So they're not just in a position where they're taking less taxes here. They're actually taking the most they've ever taken. And they're still in a massive budget position where they're in deficit. And from some of the material I've read, you get to 21 trillion, you get to 23, 25, up around 30, and you can pretty much say that's it, because you're never going to get out of that hole. We talked on past shows about the pension crisis in the United States, in the world, $78 trillion in unfunded pensions for you and I and everyone we know around the world. And we had that story last week. In the United States, $34 trillion in unfunded pensions. Another story this week, U.S. faces disastrous $3.4 trillion pension funding hole. This is the U.S. public pension system that has this problem. And in Japan, Olivier Blanchard wrote an article this week out of the UK saying that there's an ugly endgame for Japan, and they have massive, massive debt problems. Harold, we have about a minute left here. The reason we bring these debt problems up is that we want to be in investments governments can't print money. Something that can't be hacked, erased, deleted. Governments can't print it. We want to be in hard assets.
You better believe it. Alternative assets, hard assets are definitely the way to go. Everything else is manipulated and risky. And again, with what's happening on Wall Street and the insider trading and everything that's going on, there's only a very select few that are actually making any money. Even though the Dow is almost at 18,000, and again, we've said that the Dow is going to probably go to 20,000, even though it's only a few stocks that's going to make it go that high. But again, it's a market that we recommend that you stay away from. It's not for the faint of heart. Again, we have much better investments that are much safer and return much more than gambling in the casino.
Speak with Harold, 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Our featured diamond of the week is a 1.23 carat marquee cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. And this has a nice deep yellow color. You can see it. Featured diamond of the week, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. We're going to come back and talk about the Shirley Temple Blue. Also, a very special green diamond is coming up for auction. The World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on April 15th, 2016. Our time is 9:08 Mountain. Our radio show runs on 630 CHED in Edmonton, Sunday afternoon at 3. If you ever miss a show, they're archived on Harold's websites, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 24/7. It's there for you. Also, HESradio.com. Listen at your pleasure anytime. We have a podcast through iTunes. Type in The World Financial Report on Radio. You'll find us there. We're on your portable device everywhere you go. And we have our own YouTube channel, and we're on TuneIn as well. So you can listen to us on a lot of different platforms. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022, Our featured diamond of the week is a 1.23 carat marquee cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. When I saw the picture for this, I was just stunned because it's like a cat's eye. It's got a black background around it, and then it has this very vibrant yellow marquee cut, and it's like a cat's eye. It is absolutely gorgeous. Well, last week, we talked about the Millennium Diamond being sold for $3.18 million. We'll have auction results here from that auction momentarily, but we wanted to touch on two different rings first. Now, the Shirley Temple ring is going to be selling on Tuesday, and that is in New York City, April the 19th. There's another blue diamond. Shirley's is a blue diamond. Another blue diamond, the Oppenheimer blue, in Geneva, May 18, a month later. And they're saying that could go for 38 to 45. Shirley's could go from 25 to 35. So two big blue diamonds selling in the future. And we just had that Millennium go for close to $32 million last week. Now, one thing that Harold has been telling us about, and if you've been paying attention, my favorite color of diamond, green, it's starting to really attract interest. Christie's to offer largest ever fancy vivid green diamond for sale at auction. The largest ever fancy vivid green diamond, the Aurora Green, a rare 5.03 carat stone, is set to come up at Christie's Magnificent Jewels auction in Hong Kong, May 31. The stone has a VS2 clarity and no fluorescence, which is extremely rare for such a diamond, and is radiant cut. Christie's has not officially released any information about the sale, but an insider has estimated that the diamond has a value of $16 to $20 million, or $3.1 million to $3.98 million per carat. Green is a very desirable color in Asia, and it is possibly like previous auctions, going to do very, very well there. Green diamonds come up for auction very rarely, and since 2003, only one fancy vivid green has been sold. It was a 2.54 carat fancy vivid green VS1 diamond at Sotheby's Magnificent Jewels auction, November 2009. It sold for a record price of $1.22 million per carat, or the total value was $3.08 million, and the carat was 1.222. Harold, you've spoken to us about green diamonds, and I know this is something that through your connections you're becoming very a person who's specializing in green diamonds, and that's exciting because those, you believe, are the next diamonds to accumulate for a portfolio and are going to see some dramatic increases in price.
You better believe it, Randy. Just like the blue diamonds that have gone from $200,000 a carat back in 2005 to where some are selling as high as $4 million a carat. Look at what Randy just said. Back in 2003 was the only other vivid green diamond that came up for sale. That means in 13 years, only two vivid green diamonds have come up for sale. That's how rare these diamonds are. Now, back 13 years ago, the diamond sold for about $1.2 million a carat. Now it's going to sell for 3 times that amount. So that's how rare these diamonds are. That's how valuable they are. That's why they're such an amazing investment. And those that have been dealing with us on our private deals know that that's the next market that I'm recommending. That's the diamonds that we're starting to cut now, greens and oranges. I have a rough 7.5 carat vivid green diamond that I just bought. So if this particular diamond, which is 503, is going to sell in the range of $4 million a carat, again, the diamond that we just bought, 7.5 carats, I bought about 4 or 5 months ago, is going to be possibly one of the rarest green diamonds ever found. So, again, we've been able to identify trends. We caught the gold market at $250 and rode it all the way up to $1,900. We caught oil at $18 and rode it up to $150. We caught the euro when it first came out at 87 cents and captured the whole move in the euro. And now we're doing it in diamonds. We caught it in blues, in yellows. Pink diamonds are the next diamonds that are going to make these monumental moves, because the Argyle mine that produces 95% of the pink diamonds is going to close within 4 years, and we feel that pink diamonds are going to skyrocket in price. They've already been going substantially higher, and now we're going to bring to you the next major market, which are green and orange diamonds. See, green diamonds are so rare because you need uranium in order for a diamond to turn green. You need boron for a diamond to turn blue. These are very, very rare diamonds, and very seldom will you ever see one. But one comes up for sale like this natural, fancy, vivid green, and it's going to set a record. It's going to sell probably for very close to $20 million. And again, the rough diamond that it was purchased from was nowhere near that amount. So these turn out to be some of the greatest investments ever. These are the type of investments that we're making at this point. We're mining and cutting and polishing some of the most beautiful green and orange diamonds that the world has ever seen. And the reason that we're doing this is that I believe this is the next major trend in diamonds, and this is the next major trend that's going to make our clients fortunes in the marketplace. So again, when this article came out and you found it the other day, Randy, I got to tell you, I could barely sleep last night. I was so excited about what's happening in this marketplace. Again, we're seeing blue diamonds hit prices that nobody in their life ever dreamed was possible, and now it's happening almost every single auction. We recommended yellow flawless diamonds when nobody was even talking about them, and if you look at what yellow diamonds are doing at auction, they're setting records. And now you've got the pink diamonds from the Argyle mine that are going to continue to skyrocket in price. And the next major diamonds that we're going to bring to our clients are green and orange diamonds of extremely high color and clarity. And I think our clients are going to make an absolute fortune. You know, a lot of the show today was based on the fact that interest rates are down to nothing. You can't retire today with present interest rates. It would take you, you know, your entire life to basically double your money. And again, we're in alternative assets, and my clients are doubling their money in 4 years. So if that's of interest to you, if you're not doing well enough or not doing as well as our clients are doing, you may want to give us a call to hear what we're doing and see if it's something that you could get involved in. But again, Randy, when you found this article from Christie's on this vivid green diamond, number one, we were ecstatic because, again, it's just another confirmation that we're doing the right thing. We're getting invested in green diamonds when very few people even know they exist, and only 2 of them have been up for sale in the past 13 years. That tells you how rare these diamonds are.
Our featured diamond of the week from rarecoloreddiamonds.com is a 1.23 carat marquise cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. It's a vivid, and it is a beauty. See a picture of it online, the video of it online, featured diamond of the week, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Connect with Harold. Speak with him personally and privately. The call is free. Everything that you speak to Harold about is confidential. 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. As we talked about on the last show, Jim Rickards has written a book about investing in gold. And he talked about hard assets like gold. You can't hack it. You can't erase it. You can't delete it. And Rick Rule from Sprott USA said, invest in things governments can't print. And that's what we've been advocating for a long time. Diamonds, gold, and silver. Governments can't print it. Can't be hacked, can't be erased, can't be deleted. There won't be any bail-ins, as we talked about off the top of the show in Austria, with hard assets. Now, coming up on Tuesday, and this is very exciting because Shirley Temple's blue diamond ring is estimated to sell for $35 million at auction. It's a 9.54 carat internally flawless VVS2 fancy blue diamond. It's at auction coming up on Tuesday. They say $25 to $35 million. Temple's father purchased the ring in early 1940. I love a good backstory on a diamond, and she got it on her 12th birthday and the release of her film, The Bluebird. And when you think of iconic figures, you think of Marilyn Monroe, James Dean, Shirley Temple is on that list. She is just an icon in Hollywood in a major, major way. For her to be an entertainer at her young age and entertain the masses during very difficult financial times, the 40s, she was just a godsend to the United States and the world, and is an icon. Now, it's thought that the movie's title was the inspiration for buying the colored stone, which were much less coveted at the time than they are now. It's remarkable to have one stone illustrate the dramatic shift in attitude towards colored diamonds over the course of the last century, said co-chairman of Sotheby's Jewelry Americas, Gary Schuler. Today, we recognize these stones as the definition of rarity, and they are eagerly sought after in our current market for that very reason. The Shirley Temple Blue, in particular, has a tradition, and it's a traditional cushion cut that gives it a certain softness, charm, and personality. In November, Sotheby's sold the Blue Moon of Josephine, a 12.03-carat cushion-shaped, internally flawless, vivid blue diamond, to Hong Kong property tycoon Joseph Lau for a record price $48.5 million. The Shirley Temple diamond on sale this Tuesday next week. We will let you know how well it does at auction. And then, a month after that, we will have the Oppenheimer Blue, 14.62 carat, in Geneva, May the 18th. They say, Harold, that could go for up to $45 million. And we saw, and Harold does have some original pieces that belong to Liz Taylor in his private vault, his collection. And we did see what happened when Elizabeth Taylor sold off her jewelry, her estate. The prices were astronomical because it was Liz Taylor. And Harold, I'm curious to see how the Shirley Temple story goes over with this blue. I suspect it coming from Shirley Temple's estate, 1940. We're going to see the upper limits of the estimate because this diamond is the rarest of the rare, and it is a Hollywood museum piece.
It certainly is. And again, it's just spectacular. All you have to do is look at the picture of that diamond and you know that diamond just reeks of money. So it's spectacular. I'm just so happy with what's happening at auction with these diamonds. You know, just getting back to the featured diamond for a second, we've actually put that diamond into a ring setting. It's such a magnificent diamond. It's a 123 marquee, which is a very, very rare cut. And you're right, Randy, it looks like a cat's eye. It's a fancy, vivid yellow, internally flawless, but the color is a 10 out of 10. You know, I've got this in our private showroom up in Palm Beach on Worth Avenue. We have a private showroom on Worth Avenue, which is the equivalent of Rodeo Drive and Fifth Avenue in New York. It's the most expensive street. It's where Donald Trump basically is. So we have it in our private showroom. We had some clients up there the other day, and we had some other vivid diamond rings right beside this one, and this is the one that stood out the most. Everybody that looked at the vivid yellow diamonds saw this one as the strongest vivid of all, and it was obvious. This is a 10 out of 10. Color-wise, on top of that, the marquee shape, you'll very, very seldom ever see a marquee diamond. This is a very, very special and important diamond. We put it into a magnificent ring setting, and this is a diamond that will do nothing but go up in value. On top of the fact, just the pride of wearing something like this is just so phenomenal. So looking why this diamond is such a great diamond, number one, the size. It's 1.23 carats, so it's over a carat. It's a really nice size. But because it's a marquee, it looks like it's closer to 2 carats. Also, the cut of it, the marquee cut, as I mentioned before, is extremely rare. Very, very seldom will you see a diamond cut as a marquee. It's got to be very special in order for a cutter to do that. Then you've got the color, fancy, vivid yellow, which is the best that you can get. But there's 10 different shades of vivid, just like there's 10 different shades of intense and fancy, and this is a 10 out of 10. You can't get a better colored diamond in a vivid yellow than this, and then the clarity is the best you can get. It's internally flawless. I very, very highly recommend this diamond. It will do nothing but go up in value. And again, the lucky person that does purchase this diamond will actually get it in a ring setting that we spent about $35,000 on. So we'll actually throw in the setting for the person that buys this. We wanted this diamond to be showed correctly. And again, it is just as beautiful as it is in the picture. it's even more beautiful in person. Just a phenomenal diamond ring, and it's one of the best investments you could make.
And I'm glad Harold mentioned the fact that the Marquis cut is very, very rare, because when I saw this diamond, I thought the planning, the time, the effort that would have gone into obviously taking the rough diamond, polishing it, then deciding the cut, and then cutting it, you'd need a special master cutter to do it, because they just did a phenomenal job. And you can see it online, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. Let's get to a few auction results from the Magnificent Jewels and Jadeite sale from last week, April the 5th, 2016, Hong Kong, China. And that's where we had the blue diamond from De Beers, the Millennium, sell for $32 million. It was lot 1843, and it was a 10.10 carat vivid blue diamond ring, sold for $32 million. Now, lot 1875, a rare and important fancy vivid orange diamond and diamond ring. And Harold was talking about oranges. And this is a beauty. You get our newsletter, because you'll get a chance to go through these auction results and see pictures of the diamonds as well. You can get them from Harold at 1-800-432-1022. The estimate on this orange diamond, $1.5 million. It sold for $2.4 million, and I'm going to round things off. Actually, really, it was almost like 2.5. $2.5 million from the estimate of 1.5, a very nice increase. Lot 1846, an important and fine, fancy, vivid yellow diamond and diamond ring, and the yellow diamond weighed 10.30 carats. The estimate on it, $1.2 million. It sold for close to 1.5. Lot 1841, fancy vivid yellow diamond and diamond ring, and it had a beautiful diamond, 7 carats. The estimate on it, it was $851,000. It sold for over $1 million. Lot 1839, a fancy light pinkish brown diamond and diamond ring, and the carat on that, 7 carats. The estimate, $257,000. It sold for close to $500,000, $459,000. Lot 1836, fancy purple pink diamond and diamond ring from Van Cleef & Arpels, set with an oval, brilliant cut, fancy purple pink diamond weighing 5.6 carats, and the estimate on it, $361,000, sold for $443,000. Lot 1807, fancy intense yellow diamond and diamond ring, and that was an intense yellow diamond, 14.32 carats. The estimate on it, $296,000, sold for close to $400,000. Lot 1808, a pair of light pink and light blue diamond pendant earrings, and they were both roughly 3 carats. The estimate on it, and this was an estimate of $309,000, it sold for close to $400,000. Lot 1835, a fancy intense green diamond and diamond ring, and this was a 2 carat. The estimate on it, $283,000, sold for close to $400,000. And Harold, I think people are getting the idea. These people know what they're doing when it comes to giving the estimates. But we're seeing a lot of the diamonds at auction over in Hong Kong last week go for above what had been originally projected. In fact, we have lot 1837, a fancy vivid yellow diamond and diamond ring. And the carat was 5.66. The the estimate, 219, sold for $304,000. We just have a few more here. Lot 1794, a pair of fancy yellow diamond and diamond earring pendants, and they were approximately 7 carats each. The estimate on it, $206,000, sold for close to $300,000. Lot 1737, a light pink diamond, fancy blue and fancy grayish blue diamond ring. The estimate on it, $167,000, sold for $209,000. And there was lot 1796, a light pink diamond and diamond ring. And the estimate on that, and that was a 3 carat, was $154,000, sold for $209,000. Harold, I think you're getting an idea, and we'll be happy to send these auction results out to our radio listeners and clients that colored diamonds doing very, very well at auction.
You better believe it. I'm just so pleased with that, Randy. It's phenomenal. And again, even the medium-priced diamonds are selling for way more than what the experts thought that they would. And again, it's just a sign of the times. The fact is that most people are uncomfortable right now with stocks, especially at these levels and all that type of thing, and they want something that is much safer and that they can actually enjoy and hold in their hand. You can't do that with a stock. A stock can go to zero. A diamond never, ever could do that. So, again, everything is important as far as diversification. You don't put all of your money into one given investment. However, again, at this particular point, we're looking at the diamond market is one of the best investments that we can make at this time.
And one of the things that Harold and I have spoke of is the fact that the lower priced, and what we mean by that is diamonds under 100,000, seem to have bigger price appreciation. Obviously, the diamonds that are selling for millions of dollars doing very, very well. But the diamonds that more within Harold's wheelhouse, selling for 100, 200,000. Sure, Harold has sold diamonds for millions and millions, but primarily that would be the wheelhouse. And let's quickly go through just a few more from this auction because it really showcases the price appreciation on those diamonds under 100,000. Lot 1795, fancy yellow diamond and diamond ring, 8 carats. The estimate 96,000 went for 193,000 from 96. Lot 1670, fancy yellow diamond and diamond ring, 5 carats. The estimate on it, 61, sold for 80. Lot 1719, a pair of fancy yellow diamond and diamond earring pendants, and the estimate on it, 51, sold for 68. Lot 1668, fancy intense yellow diamond and diamond ring from Oscar Heyman and Brothers, and just a beautiful diamond. The estimate on it, 19,000, sold for 32. And lot 1702, fancy light diamond and diamond ring, the estimate on it, 12,000, sold for $22,500. And Harold, that's what we're talking about. You have a lot 1795, fancy diamond and a fancy yellow diamond and diamond ring, and it was roughly 8.72 carats. The estimate on it, 96, close to $200,000. That's the price appreciation we've been talking about. We had on the past show a few weeks ago, there was that couple in Florida that purchased a diamond in 2007. They had it appraised for insurance purposes. They were shocked to find out that pink diamond had appreciated over 500% in less than 10 years. And that is the exciting part about investing in colored diamonds.
You certainly summed it up beautifully, Randy. You're 100% correct. It is one of the most exciting investments. And again, an investment that's time has certainly come. Because again, as we get a little bit older and we get closer to retirement, we understand that with interest rates at 1%, that's not going to happen. You're not going to retire keeping your money in the bank. If it forces you into the stock market, your chances of doing well are slim to next to none. 90% of the people that invest in stock lose their money, and that's where most people have their retirement savings plan, which again is just not going to work out for you. You have to look at alternative investments that are outside of the system, outside of the banking system and the stock market and paper assets. And again, I've mentioned this several times, but my clients are doing much better than the norm. In fact, I've been recommending for a long time now, for the last 3 years, is to get out of Canadian dollar-based investments and get into U.S. dollar-based investments, and my clients are making over 25% a year. So again, give me a call. I'll show you how we're doing this. I'll explain everything to you, and I'll actually handle the entire investment for you. So if that's of interest, please give me a call. I'll sit down with you and explain everything and get you back to financial health. That's paramount for Randy and myself.
1-800-432-1022. The call is free. It's confidential. RareColoredDiamonds.com is the website. And thank you, Harold, for your knowledge and another great show.
My pleasure, Randy. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very profitable day.
Well, as Charlie Munger said, we have a vast gambling culture, and people have made it respectable. Basically, the stock market is a casino, and too many people want to get rich quickly. And if you're interested in learning how to invest in a different form with alternative assets, speak with Harold Siegel at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Invest in items that can't be hacked, erased, deleted, and that governments cannot print. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.